The Bible is a set of books with magnificent stories and intriguing characters, many of which are forgotten or little presented by scholars of the sacred scriptures. In today's video, we will explore the story of a character who is part of an intriguing chapter in Abraham's life, a little-known story about his second wife, Keturah. What does the Bible reveal to us about this mysterious woman and her descendants? Much is said about Abraham and Sarah, and few remember Keturah. After Sarah's death, which is recorded in Genesis chapter 23. Genesis 25 reveals to us that Abraham took another wife. Abraham finds comfort in the arms of a woman named Keturah. Who is this enigmatic figure who enters Abraham's life? Keturah, possibly meaning incense, was a concubine and wife of the biblical patriarch Abraham. According to the book of Genesis, Abraham married Keturah after the death of his first wife, Sarah, and they had 6 children. Keturah is mentioned in 2 passages in the Hebrew Bible, in the book of Genesis, and also in the first book of Chronicles. Additionally, it is mentioned in the book Jewish Antiquities, written in the 1st century by the Roman historian Flavius Josephus. In the first book of Chronicles, she is called a concubine, Abraham's concubine. She is mentioned as a concubine, but her actions and influence go beyond that simple designation. When we learn more about the story, we see Keturah playing a significant role in Abraham's life. And this leads us to wonder, what was her dynamic with him? How did she shape the family environment after Sarah's departure? These are questions that lead us to discover a fascinating story. Sarah's death left Abraham devastated, but Keturah, with her resilient presence, brought a new chapter to his story. As we can imagine, it must not have been easy for Abraham to open himself up to love again after losing his beloved wife. However, Keturah played a crucial role in this period of transition and construction of a new family, bringing joy back to Abraham's life. Despite all the discussion about the relationship between Keturah and Abraham, Keturah never had the same status as Sarah. So this wedding didn't have the same importance as the first. Keturah is called wife in Genesis 25 and 2, but following the biblical narrative she is called a concubine. Genesis 25 verse 6, 1 Chronicles 1 and 32. It is not possible to determine exactly when the relationship between Abraham and Keturah occurred. If Abraham took Keturah as his wife only after Sarah's death, then he fathered 6 children when he was already over 140 years old. Then it is definitely impossible to date Abraham's relationship with Keturah and the birth of his 6 children with her. Some interpreters see in Genesis 24 and 36 a possible indication that Abraham already had other children besides Ishmael and Isaac when his servant went to get Rebekah to be Isaac's wife. Furthermore, we know that later Abraham separated Isaac, the son of promise, from the children of his concubines, Genesis 25 and 6. However, Abraham lived more than 35 years after Sarah's death, dying at the age of 175. Gen 25 verse 7 and 8, thus, he could very well have taken Keturah as his wife, had 6 children with her, and seen them grow up before he died. Also, it seems appropriate to take into account Abraham's general respect for Sarah's feelings, which makes it unlikely that he would risk the possibility of further family discord comparable to that involving Hagar and Ishmael by taking another concubine while Sarah was still alive. The Bible says that Abraham sent his concubine's children to the eastern land. According to the laws of the time, children of legitimate wives had a guaranteed right to share their father's assets. But the children of concubines depended on their father's kindness in leaving them something. Keturah is not just a secondary figure in Abraham's life, she is a force that brought light and renewal. Together, they built a new family, overcoming past sadness and embracing a future full of hope. Who is Keturah? A loyal partner, a loving mother, a figure who uniquely shaped Abraham's legacy. Keturah conceived 6 sons of Abraham: Zimram, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Jishbak, and Shua. The lives of Abraham and Keturah are marked by a descendant where their journeys and choices echo through the centuries. In exploring Keturah's family tree, we come across a fascinating lineage. 6 children, each with unique destinies that shaped the history of the lands of Israel and the Arabian Peninsula. Genesis and early Chronicles also list 7 of his grandchildren: Sheba, Dedan, Ephah, Epher, Enoch, Abida, and Eldah. Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Jishbak, and Sua. These are not just names, they are pieces of an intriguing puzzle. Each child of Keturah carries with them a unique story, contributing to the story of the biblical narrative. The sons of Keturah were not just witnesses to history, they were active protagonists. We found traces of their commercial activities, involving themselves in the international spice and gold trade. His actions transcend borders, leaving a lasting mark on the history of commercial transactions. In distant lands, where Keturah's descendants settled, its interactions with other communities, its influences on local culture, all of these elements contribute to the rich history of humanity. According to the African writer Olaudah Equiano, the 18th century English theologian John Gill believes that Africans are descendants of Abraham's relationship with Keturah, a thesis that is not accepted by other scholars and is not found in the Bible. Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Jisbak, and Sua names that echo through the ages. In addition to social interactions, the commercial activities of Keturah's descendants played a vital role in shaping local cultures. The trade routes they established were not just for the exchange of goods, but also for the exchange of ideas, customs, and traditions, leaving an indelible mark on the lands they touched. The choice of Keturah's descendants to maintain a nomadic lifestyle also had profound cultural implications. Their preservation of nomadic traditions not only influenced local communities, but also challenged conventional conceptions, promoting the appreciation of freedom over the shackles of materialism. The cultural legacy of Keturah's descendants is like a kaleidoscope of diverse influences, contributing to the creation of a society where diversity is celebrated. Their journeys through distant lands not only added nuance to the story, but also helped build bridges between cultures, promoting harmonious coexistence. There are two main strands to be explored, each revealing deeper layers of this intriguing choice about the motivations behind Abraham's marriage to Keturah. Throughout Rebekah's period of sterility, Keturah's children are born and grow up. The uncertainty about who would be the heir to the divine promise hangs in the air, creating a complex and nuanced narrative. As we analyze the interpretations and motivations behind Abraham's marriage to Keturah, we are confronted with profound questions about faith, strategy, and the search for offspring. The path chosen by Abraham in taking Keturah as his wife. A decision that goes beyond simply choosing a new wife, but involves careful navigation between divine promises, strategy, and the search for a meaningful lineage. The path chosen by Abraham begins in a period of uncertainty. After being proven through the sacrifice of Isaac, you can check out the complete story in Genesis 22. The divine promise is challenged, and the sterility of Rebekah, wife of Isaac, heir of the promise, creates a deep concern about the continuity of the lineage that God promised. Here, Abraham begins to chart his path. The search for a guarantee is the first step on this path. Abraham, in his moments of reflection, feels the need to ensure that the divine promise is fulfilled. Marriage to Keturah becomes a strategic contingency plan. However, the path chosen by Abraham is not limited to the search for guarantee. There is a second layer to his motivation. Abraham desires children with characteristics similar to those of Ishmael, adding psychological complexity to his decision. Keturah's children are born and grow up while Rebekah faces sterility. Here, the path chosen by Abraham unfolds. He supports a growing family during a time of uncertainty, preparing for any future developments. Abraham, strategically, maintains uncertainty about who will be the true heir of the divine promise until the birth of Esau and Jacob, sons of the one upon whom the promise rested. This is the culmination of the path chosen by Abraham, a journey full of deliberate and complex choices. Keturah's children with Abraham became the ancestors of many Arab peoples who populated the territory to the east of Israel. Among all these people, in the biblical narrative of the Old Testament, the Midianite people are the ones who appear most prominently. Zipporah, the wife of Moses, for example, was a Midianite. At the end of this fascinating journey through the lives of Abraham, Keturah, and their descendants, we are faced with a complex mosaic of choices, strategies, and destinies. The sons of Keturah, each walking their own unique path, contributed to the richness of biblical history and shaped Abraham's legacy in unpredictable ways. From the pain of Sarah's departure to the complex motivations behind his marriage to Keturah, we saw how Abraham navigated the turbulent waters of faith, hope, and strategy. His choices resonate across the centuries, challenging us to reflect on the meaning of our own journey. Keturah's descendants chose a nomadic lifestyle, a conscious decision to preserve their independence and reject material constraints. This choice not only reflects the spirit of Abraham, but also questions us about the true nature of freedom and connection to our roots. As we conclude this in-depth exploration, I express my gratitude for having accompanied us on this intriguing journey through the lives of Abraham, Keturah, and his descendants. I hope you found inspiration and reflection along the way. If this journey has sparked thoughts, or if there's anything you'd like to add, don't hesitate to share in the comments below. And to continue exploring fascinating narratives, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support is what drives us to continue unraveling the mysteries of biblical history. Stay tuned for more exciting discoveries. New stories, new reflections await. Thank you again for following us, and see you on the next journey. May curiosity always guide your steps.